Yep, those are chunks of wood swimming in some cream, so you know what that means. We're back to another episode of Tree Ice Cream. And our flavor this month is the Plum Tree, complete with a special secret ingredient, cyanide. More on that later on. For now, I'm starting this the classic way by chopping up and toasting some chunks of plum wood, which has brought out a delightfully smoky, fruity aroma. Infuse that in an ice cream base for 30 minutes, strain, and now that we have a toasted plum wood cream base, let's move on to the part of the tree that you'd expect me to turn to next, the fruit itself. I'm going to use these to make a plum caramel sauce from a recipe by Dana Cree from her excellent book, Hello, My Name is Ice Cream, since her cardamom plum and marzipan ice cream recipe helped inspire the direction for our tree flavor today. And with the plums cooked, pureed, strained, and added to a bubbling caramel, it's time to move on to the final plum tree element, the humble plum pit, which contains our aforementioned secret ingredient. I've gathered as many pits as I can from the plum trees in my backyard and dried them out in a food dehydrator, and then it's time to get to cracking. And you might notice that the kernels inside there bear a striking resemblance to almonds. And that's because almond trees are in the same genus as other stone fruits like plums, peaches, and cherries. So I'm going to be combining these with a neutral flavored alcohol like vodka to make a homemade almond extract, which I'll use to flavor an almond cake. And I'm using an old family recipe I learned from my half-Swedish grandma. We just call it Swedish cake, and it'll hopefully be packed with almondy flavor courtesy of our plum pit extract. I've also omitted the usual slivered almond topping, and I'm cutting into cubes for easy distribution into the ice cream, which means it's now time to churn up the cream base. And once that's done, I layer the sauce, the cake bits, the ice cream, and then repeat layer by layer. Then cover, toss into the freezer to firm up, and now down to the wood shop to make a bowl and spoon out of some plum wood. Okay, Justin, so you keep saying cyanide. Are you for real? Well, yeah, stone fruit kernels like plum pits contain amygdalin, a chemical that converts into cyanide when ingested. I get into the details on just how poisonous these compounds are and how I'm avoiding dying from eating this bowl of ice cream in the long-form version of this episode, so you should definitely go treat yourself to a break from the scroll and go watch the full thing. It's just more relaxed and more of a fun hang. And who doesn't want to hang out with me a little bit more, right? It's just more fun over there. If not, no sweat, I'm not going to leave you short-formers hanging, so let's take our completed plumwood bowl and spoon, which are looking great, and scoop up that plum ice cream, which, wow, the most presentable scoop of the series thus far, and give it a taste.
Oh, wow. That is the most delicious cyanide I've ever had. The toasted plumwood cream, lightly toasted, woody, fruity flavor, some cyanide in that wood too. This was a perfect bowl of ice cream. Cannot recommend this enough. Plum delicious.